I want to go back to some of those Pittsburgh teams because those were really good teams. I mean, I think people overlooked those a little bit. I mean, McCutchen got, one MVP. He kind of became a star of the league, but that's a dude who, you mentioned some of the different markets. I think if McCutchen was a Dodger or Yankee or some of those other teams, I mean, he would be household. And luckily, social media, he is becoming household.
Right.
But I want to hear a little bit about, a couple of those teams, maybe 2013 or what don't people know? Because, I mean, McCutchen, yeah, he was a stud, but I'm looking at some of those pitching staffs, and those are silly. It's Burnett, Liriano, Cole, Morton. Those teams were awesome, man.
Yeah, I got to the big leagues in 2010 and kind of got established later on in the 2011 season. I felt like I finally was like, okay, I'm here. And Andrew was up there a half a season before me in 2009. And then fast forward a little further, Charlie Morton was up there, but he was still kind of struggling to get his footing and consistency as a big league starter. We had guys like Starling Marte that came along, I think, later in the 2012 season. We had a really good first half of the 2012 season and fizzled out in April, in August and September. And we knew going into that offseason, we were like, hey, we got a pretty good squad here. Like we got some good players. And they did a really good job that year of bringing in Russell Martin and Liriano and AJ Burnett and these guys that were veteran guys. And they had kind of meddled a little bit the last couple years, but it was a perfect market for those guys to come in. I think AJ was coming from New York or Philadelphia or somewhere like that. Frankie struggled a little bit. I think he was with the White Sox maybe and just kind of struggled in the AL. Came over, and these guys just were really good. Everybody was healthy. It was like the perfect storm. And we got to about late May in 2013, and we kind of looked around and we were like, hey, we're legit. Like we got a chance at this. And we were staring down the barrel of the Cardinals, and Cincinnati was still really competitive. Chicago was kind of up and coming at that time. Milwaukee was on the downswing for that year. And we were just good. And we didn't have, like you said, we didn't have big name guys. Andrew was clearly our best player. Everything was built around him. Our pitching staff was steady. Garrett Cole got up there mid-season, and he just jumped right into the rotation basically as our number 2 guy. And we were one game, we lost the game. We lost the 5th game of the division series against the Cardinals in St. Louis. Carlos Beltran had a huge 3-run homer in like the 6th inning to completely separate the game. But there was not many guys on our team that had a lot of postseason experience, and that kind of catapulted us through the next couple of years. And people that know that 14 and 15 year, we ran into a complete buzzsaw after that with Jake Arrieta and Madison Bumgarner in the wild card games. Yeah. But we were just as good in 14 and 15 as we were in 13. We just kind of fell victim to the wild card game. And in 13, we were beneficiaries of the wild card game. So that's kind of baseball. I mean, think about this last year. The Milwaukee Brewers had the wild card game won. It had it won. And the Washington Nationals ended up winning the World Series. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that 15 season, you guys won 98 games.
Yeah. Damn. And we still had to play. We almost had to play on the road for a wild card game. That's insane. Absolutely
Fans
insane.
love it. Fans, as a fan, I love watching a one-game thing. But as a player, and I never got to experience that, but to play 162 games, win 98 of them.
Yeah.
And then have your entire postseason balance on one
9
game.
innings.
And baseball, a pitcher can dominate for one game, and you have no chance. And that's kind of what happened 2 years in a row. Now that I'm talking it out loud, I don't like the wild card game. So I'm gonna have to call Rob.
We might need to look this up, but I believe I'm the leader in the clubhouse for most wild card games played. I think I have.
Really?
So I've been a part of 5. The first year with the Mets, I got hurt at the end of the year. So 3 with the Pirates, 1 with the Mets, and then 1 with the Yankees, and a 2-3 record. But like
they've only been around for 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you want me to be a part of a wild card game, just bring me on your squad, I guess.
Was that so? What's the furthest you went in a postseason?
So we got 2013, very first year. 2013 and then 2018 with the Yankees. We got the game 5 of the division series against the Cardinals in 13, and then we got the game 4 against the Red Sox in 18. So, both.
What was more nerve-wracking? Like, was the buzz, the excitement, the nervous energy more in the NLDS than it was in the wild card game, or was that or like how? Like, just tell us how the wild card game is as a player. Like,
it like you said, it sucks. Like it sucks. The very first wild card game, Johnny Cueto, we faced Johnny Cueto in the Reds, and we got up early, and Liriano just shoved, right? The next year we had Madison Bumgarner. He came into Pittsburgh. Brandon Crawford hit a grand slam in like the 6th inning, and Bumgarner threw basically a shutout. We were toast. No shot. The next year, Arrieta was unhittable the entire year. Was NL Cy Young. Came into Pittsburgh and shoved it. The following year, I was with the Mets and didn't play, but Madison Bumgarner pitched, did the same thing, shoved
Same
it
guy.
for 9 innings, and it was still tied. We went to an extra inning, and somebody hit a Connor Gillespie.
Yeah, that was the
homer.
Syndergaard game, right?
Yeah.
We just rewatched that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he shoved it, and Bumgarner shoved it, and somebody hit a 3-run homer in like the top of the 10th inning, something like that, and we lost. 2 years later, with the Yankees, we played the Oakland Athletics, and Severino pitched an absolute gem. Judge hit a big homer early in the game to give us a cushion, and I think we ended up winning like 6-2 or 6-3 or something like that. So, but there's like, it's out the window. The script is completely out the window. It's not like, okay, well, we got Severino throwing game 1 and Tanaka throwing game 2, and we got it set up to go on the road. It's like, all right, all hands on deck. Like, all of our starters in the bullpen. Something happens in the first 2 innings. We're going to go to the number 2 starter and hope that he can get through 2 innings. And that's really the way it's been. Most every single game, it's either been somebody got a huge hit or a huge homer to kind of extend the game and give a cushion, or a pitcher has shoved it. So that's the name of the wild card.